All right, so we're starting off today with, I see somebody put an answer. We're starting off today with example 38, and example 38 says, find the exact value of x satisfying ln x plus 1 minus ln x is equal to 2. So of course, this is an equation, and our objective is to determine the value of x. All right, what I would do if I have a situation like this is I would use my law of logarithm, in particular, that's this law here, and make ln x plus 1 minus ln x into 1 log. So using my law of logarithm, this would be ln x, this would be ln x plus 1 over x is equal to 2. So the first thing I did is I used the law of logarithm to make this into 1 log. In particular, I use the law that essentially says if you are subtracting 2 logs and the base is the same, you can make it into 1 log by dividing. So the next thing I would do is I would move from the logarithm form to the index form. So ln actually means log to the base e, and ln in the equation, ln x plus 1 over x is equal to 2. X plus 1 over x is the number, e is the base, and 2 is the power. So moving from log form to index form, it is the number, which is x plus 1 over x, is equal to the base e raised to the power 2. So the second thing I would do is I would move from log form to index form. Remember, our objective is to determine the value of x. Ladies, gentlemen, if I have 1 fraction is equal to 1 fraction and I want to get rid of the fraction, what would I do? Anybody?
Cross multiply.
All right, so let's cross multiply. We have 1 times x plus 1, so that is x plus 1 is equal to x times e squared. So this is x e squared. Our objective is to determine the value of x. So let's get everything with x in it on one side and everything that doesn't have x in it on the other side. So I would leave the 1 over here, and this is x e squared minus x. So positive x on the left goes over to the right and become negative. Now over on the right-hand side, x is common. So I have 1 is equal to x into e squared minus 1. 1 would be equal to x. All I did was factorize the right-hand side. X is the common factor. So I factor out the x. And the last step is to divide both sides by e squared minus 1. So e squared minus 1 cancels e squared minus 1, and I have x is equal to 1 over e squared minus 1. Now, of course, you can put that in your calculator and actually get a value that you would probably have to round off to 3 significant figure. But this is the exact answer. X is equal to 1 over e squared minus 1. All right, so let's have a look at example 39. Sorry, example 39. Example 39 says, find the value or values of x satisfying the equation 2 log to the base 2 of x minus log to the base 2 of x plus 1 is equal to 1. Well, in a question like this, life becomes easy if you can take the two logs, the expression, the logarithm expression on the left, and make it into one log. All right, don't be too hasty. The first thing I'd have to do is this, to say that this is what? Log to the base 2 of x squared minus log to the base 2 of x plus 1 is equal to 1. So what I did a while ago is a reverse application of what? Of this law. I just did a reverse application of that law. That if you have 2 times a log of a number raised to a base is the same as saying the number raised to the power 2. So I just did a reverse application of that last law. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply this law now to make the left-hand side into 1 log. So let's apply that second law. So in applying the second law, I'm going to get the log to the base 2 of x squared over x plus 1. And this is equal to 1. Again, I just use another law of logarithm to make the logarithm expression on the left into 1 log. Next, I'm going to move from log form to index form. Now, when you're in the log form, like here, if you have, for example, log to the base a of b is equal to x, in that form, a is the base, b is the number, and x is the power. Now, in moving from log form to index form, it is the number, which is x squared over x plus 1 is equal to the base 2 raised to the power 1. So what we have basically right now is x squared over x plus 1 is equal to 2 over 1. So the next thing to do is to get rid of the fractions. If I have 1 fraction is equal to 1 fraction, to get rid of the fraction, I must cross multiply. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to get x squared is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 1. So that is x squared is equal to 2x plus 2. Now, this is a quadratic equation. And one of the first steps in solving a quadratic equation is to ensure that one side of the equation is equal to 0. So I'm going to have x squared minus 2x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, I do not think that this expression can be factorized. So if it cannot be factorized, I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's a quadratic formula. And in this formula, b is actually minus 2, a is 1, and c is minus 2. So x is equal to minus 2 plus or minus the square root of minus 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 2 all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. Simplifying, I'm going to get x is equal to 2 plus or minus 4 as minus 2 squared All right, good. Plus 8 all over 2 times 1, which is 2. This is 2 plus or minus the square root of 12 all over 2. This is 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 times 3 over 2. This is 2 plus or minus. Now the square root of 4 is 2, so this is 2 root 3 over 2. So this would be 2 over 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 over 2. So x is equal to 1 plus or minus root 3. Separating them, I have x is equal to 1 plus root 3, or x is equal to 1 minus root 3.